Welcome back to Northwest News. In this episode, we cover delays in the dining hall, reporter Libby Ehlers attends Comedy Inc.'s Valentine's Day show, and more. Your Northwest News starts now.
Thanks for tuning in to Northwest News, the show where we provide the latest coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Shelby Singleton.
And I'm Katie Bird. Before we get into this week's episode, be sure to hit that notification bell for the latest news coverage as well as other KNWT content.
This past week, various clubs on campus put together events for the student body to celebrate Valentine's Day. One club in particular, called Comedy Inc., held a comedy show centered around Valentine-themed games and skits. Reporter Libby Ehlers takes us there.
Comedy Inc., a student-led theater and improv organization, hosted their comedy show in the Maryland Auditorium, where they engaged in a variety of theater games and skits, some even being in the spirit of Valentine's Day. By showcasing their skills and talents, they were able to host a performance to both the Northwest Missouri State University student body and also the surrounding community as well. President Zach Scott, a junior here at Northwest, led the group throughout the night and also included a few moments of audience interaction during their time on stage. Following the show, I spoke with Scott to learn what Comedy Inc. truly is and what all they do here on campus.
What we do in Comedy Inc. is a little bit of everything concerning improv, being games, we do skits, we do funny little lip syncs, and one of the things concerning lip syncs would be our lip sync and roast that we are going to be doing in the MLA or also the Maryland Auditorium in the Ron Housen Fine Arts Center. What I hope people get from the shows is mostly just laughter. You come to Comedy Inc. and you're just able to laugh, have fun with your buddies, throw out some funny suggestions that we might not be able to use on stage. You lose all the stress in your body and you go home happy.
Following the interview with Scott, I was able to speak with Dave Downs as well, the vice president and fellow actor of Comedy Inc., to see just how he got involved with this team and how it's impacted his college career.
I remembered I picked up acting in my senior year of high school and I loved it. And one of my main regrets in life was that I never got into it sooner because I enjoy it a lot. I got into Comedy Inc. because it was through my freshman seminar class mostly because I was incentivized to start looking into clubs. Comedy Inc. has definitely given me something to look forward to. It motivates me because then I feel like I'm excited. I get to get up and I get to go do something that I really enjoy midway through the week. So it makes getting to Friday and the weekend just that much easier.
To learn more about Comedy Inc., visit Northwest Office of Student Involvement website or reach out to Comedy Inc.'s Instagram page, Comedy Inc. NW. Reporting for Northwest News, this is Libby Ehlers.
Comedy Inc. is a great way for students to get involved with improv and acting. And if that doesn't interest you, they are always putting together shows for students to watch. Stick with us as we take you through this week's highlight of the Missourian.
As the year continues, the new dining options at the J.W. Jones Student Union are still closed and the timeline for opening continues to be pushed. Students are continuing to get frustrated by the lack of availability dining options on campus.
It was first announced last fall the dining hall contract would be out for bid and announced the contract with Sodexo Operations LLC on February 8, 2023. Students started out exciting about the new dining options that would be available, but when timelines continued to be pushed back, it became disappointing for some.
Freshman Lincoln Stallard and Emma Harper said they are frustrated with only having a couple of options to choose from. Harper had this to say: "We are paying to be able to have all of this with our own dining dollars, and then we only get 2 options."
Students aren't the only ones frustrated. Assistant Vice President of Student Affairs, Residential, and Auxiliary Services, Rose Viau, said she and the on-ground staff have also been feeling some of that disappointment.
Viau said, "You have to keep pushing on people to get things done and to get things working, but you still have to be patient."
For more on these stories, check out nwmissourinews.com or pick up a paper out of the boxes on campus.
Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we will walk through the gold out for KC for St. Jude basketball game with reporter Katie Bird, a Valentine's Day themed vendor fair in Maryville, and more. You're watching Northwest News.
Kirsten, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? Making TikToks? And it's not about what I do, it's about what we do here. So we start with storyboarding the content we want to create for our clients. It could be anyone from small businesses, nonprofits, and organizations both on campus and in the Maryville community. We write, we film, we edit, we create, and then we wait. So if you're someone who thinks you need us, we are KNWT Creative Services.
Thank you for sticking with us, and welcome back to Northwest News. This past week, reporter Katie Bird attended a Northwest basketball game where St. Jude was in attendance to raise money. But first, we take a deeper dive into another Northwest Missourian highlight.
There was a Valentine's Day themed vendor fair in Maryville on February 10th called Shop Cupid's Corner. The event brought together many small businesses from the Northwest Missouri area.
In past years, the Behavioral Science Association would choose between all of the submissions and decide what will be displayed for the event.
Blue Sign Vintiques has been in business for 12 years, selling new, vintage, antique, repurposed, and salvaged pieces according to its Facebook page. Owner Kate Nothstein started the shop when she lived in Barnard, Missouri, and named it after a blue sign that stood at the end of her driveway. But she now lives in Maryville and still bases the shop out of her home on 1421 East 1st Street.
Northstein said, "I love my business. I love combining vintage into modern decor. I love antiques." At Shop Cupid's Corner, Northstein displayed small furniture, repurposed and inexpensive linens, and a few other small pieces.
She said she thinks it's important for small communities to hold these vendor fairs because it gives locals an alternative to franchise stores.
In the summer, Northstein adds freshly cut flower boutiques from her garden to the list of things Blue Sign Antiques sells. Sometimes she collaborates with her daughter-in-law, Brittany Nothstein, and her business, B&B Bakery, based out of Kansas City.
For more on these stories, check out nwmissourinews.com or pick up a paper out of the boxes on campus.
We take you to the Lampkin Arena, where reporter Katie Bird attended the St. Jude basketball game.
On Thursday, February 15th, St. Jude Bearcats represented their organization at the Gold Out Northwest men's basketball game. I met with events director Callie Spunago to learn about St. Jude and an important upcoming event.
As we help raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Any patient that comes into St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital does not have to pay any bills while they're there, and that includes like housing, food, any medical bills they might incur while they're there, to just kind of help those families that are going through these really, really hard times. So today we were at the Gold Out game and we're looking for donations and different things. We're handing out bracelets, flags. We have some people in the crowd that have boas and other different St. Jude items on there, and we're just kind of trying to help raise awareness. Every year we host this event. It's called Cut Loose. We ask people to volunteer to cut 8 inches off their hair, and all that hair gets donated to different St. Jude patients, and it gets made into wigs, and it just kind of helps with a lot of different things. Patients will feel more confident. They're going to be able to have a little bit of normalcy in those really, really hard times.
Riley Lindsay, president, spoke on what drew her into St. Jude, along with some facts about the Cut Loose event and the importance of community to this organization.
Really what got me started into St. Jude first was I donated my hair a couple of years ago. The hair goes to children with hair loss. So it's not just kiddos with cancer, but it's also just any other life-threatening diseases or even just like alopecia. And then we also raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital at the same time. It's So I think that our community is great here at Northwest. We have the residents of Maryville, we have the Northwest community, and everyone's kind of interlocked, right? So I think just telling Northwest students that we're doing good up here in Northwest. We're raising awareness for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and we are raising money for them as well. I know that the families at St. Jude really appreciate what we do, and being able to be part of a larger community in our small community is just really great.
For more information, check out St. Jude's Instagram page at St. Jude Bearcats.
St. Jude has a huge impact on campus and is always holding charity events, so make sure to keep an eye out for their next one and help out the community.
When we come back, reporter Shelby Singleton sits down with Clarence Green and talks about his retirement and his impact on the Northwest community. Hey Al, it sounds like there are some people that don't know about the show.
We've got some time.
Let's roll.
So you want to know about Now You Know. Think of us as your go-to spot for rundowns of your favorite things. Everything from toys, tools, holidays, and more. We've got you covered in here
And out here. I'm Katie Bird, and I'm on campus asking about what you know. For example,
A second ago, you didn't know what this show was. And now, you know.
noon on Wednesdays at KNWT TV.
Welcome back to Northwest News, the place where you can find news and whereabouts on what's happening in the Northwest and Maryville community.
Clarence Green Jr. has been sitting on his retirement plan for some time now, dating back to the last 4 years. Reporter Shelby Singleton sits down with him to get more info.
Clarence Green has been the face of Northwest for 28 years. He has worked in numerous positions at the university, but is known for his role as police chief and for being the interim president for the 22-23 academic school year.
When I graduated Northwest, I went to work at Maryville Public Safety for a couple of years before coming out here to the university. I started work here in '96. I would say it was a little bit intimidating because you're working in an educational environment. Most of the folks I worked with had some level of a master's or a terminal degree. And so a little bit of it was, I was a little bit intimidated by individuals because I thought, well, they knew more because they had more education. Because when I first got in that role, I thought, well, you have to be presidential and there's some things you should do. And the best advice I was ever given was just be you. You know, that's why I say, learn about yourself, because the advice they gave me, I'm best when I'm just me.
While talking to Dr. Green, I asked him about his time being the Northwest Missouri State University interim president and how he felt about taking on that position.
It's truly an honor. It was probably one of the most professional honors, the top professional honor that I probably had. It's such an honor to serve your own organization, and I think Northwest is my own organization because I went to school here, at such a pristine position. For the institution where you're the representative. It was exciting, it was scary, all at the same time, and it was fun also. And I enjoyed the opportunity to work with my Northwest leadership team colleagues in a different way.
Dr. Green recently announced his retirement from Northwest and tells us what he will miss most about the campus.
I don't know if I will ever miss anything more than the people, because the people are what gave me and allotted me those opportunities, whether that was faculty, staff, and our students. Because we have something truly, really special here. And I know that sounds cliche, but truly it is. Like, there's not many places I could go on this campus where I don't know some of the students there, where I can't talk with them about critical issues, and I don't feel like they don't hold anything back.
I got the pleasure to talk with the executive assistant to the president, Jacob Wood, to talk about his relationship with Dr. Green, along with how Green has made an impact on his career.
I have known Dr. Green this is year 10 that I've known Dr. Green. You know, he has just had a huge impact on my life as far as this career. He took a chance on me. He was a first-time president. I was a first-time executive assistant to a president. So we did a lot of learning together.
While talking with Wood, I asked him how he felt about Dr. Green announcing that he will be retiring from the university.
It's a lot of mixed emotions for me of Dr. Green retiring. You know, I'm so excited for him and his family. You know, they've been in Maryville for many, many years, and he has really been an anchor in this community as well as Northwest. When you think of Northwest, you think of Bobby Bearcat, you think of the administration building, and you think of Clarence Green. Those are the three things that you think of, and national championships, of course. I also thank them for their friendship. They are two great individuals, and we are truly going to miss Dr. Green around Northwest.
For the stories that matter to you, I'm Shelby Singleton, reporting for Northwest News. Clarence Green Jr. is expected to retire March 31st, ending a 28-year career here at Northwest. Well, that's all the time we have for Northwest News. Be sure to go to the description below to rewatch certain sections of our show. But before we go, over to Katie.
On February 14th, an all-too-familiar catastrophe unfolded. In what was supposed to be a day of celebration for the Chiefs, just days after claiming their third Super Bowl win in 5 years, tragedy struck downtown Kansas City, leaving 22 people injured and claiming the life of one. If you or anyone you know is struggling, Northwest is here for you. The university provides in-person counseling at the Wellness Center, as well as crisis counseling support by dialing the number 988. You are not alone. For more on this story, check out the link in our bio. Thank you.